Madam President.
Senator from Nebraska.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, only United States citizens should be voting in United States elections. That is not a controversial statement. That is common sense. And Republicans believe in that statement. We believe that we need to protect voting in our elections. But I think our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, they want to make those elections less secure. This is against the will of most Americans and against the will of their own voters. The Save America Act is simple. It requires proof of citizenship to register to vote and require a photo ID when you go to cast a ballot. Common sense. And it has overwhelming public support. But Democrats stand in opposition. Madam President, the polling numbers are clear. A recent CBS News poll shows that 80% of Americans support requiring a photo ID to vote, and that includes 65% of Democrats. A Pew Research Center poll finds that 83% of voters support photo ID at the polls, and that includes 71% of Democrats. And 66% of Americans support requiring documents showing proof of citizenship in order to register to vote. Proof of citizenship is when it's required when you apply for government benefits. It is required when you join the military. Every single job in this country requires new hires to fill out a Form I-9, proving they are eligible to work here. Americans show photo ID to drive a car, to pick up their kids early from school, to check into a hotel, to purchase cold medicine at a pharmacy, to board a plane, and to get a library card. If we expect this of Americans in these instances, why on earth shouldn't we expect it when they vote? We've applied this program in my home state of Nebraska. In 2023, Nebraska adopted a law through the voter-driven initiative process requiring voters to provide an ID with their name and photo when they vote. There's a lot of acceptable forms of ID in Nebraska: a driver's license, a state ID card, a U.S. passport, a military ID, a tribal ID. My state of Nebraska found a sensible way to verify voters' identities without restricting access for eligible voters. In fact, Nebraskans can get an ID and a certified copy of their birth certificate at no cost if they don't have one. Here in Washington, Democrats have spent the past few weeks waffling on this issue. In fact, Senator Schumer recently announced that Democrats do support voter ID. You know, that's great. Vote for it. My colleague, Senator Husted, a former chief election official in his home state of Ohio, decided to take Senator Schumer at his word. He offered a clean, basic photo ID bill. Just a simple requirement to show voter ID at the polls, a driver's license, a military ID, a tribal ID, or a passport. Well, guess what happened? The Democrats blocked it. They are completely unserious on this issue. They are out of step with the majority of Americans. Mr. President, the stakes couldn't be higher. America's election integrity is on the line. The Save America Act is a common sense solution. Proof of citizenship to register and photo ID to vote. Every Democrat will be put on the record, and the American people will be watching. I urge my colleagues to support the Save America Act. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.